Welcome back to the Embers Archive. Tonight, we journey to a world fractured by eternal frost and perpetual night. It is a story of opposing forces, a prophecy whispered in a dissonant song, and a love that bloomed in the space between ice and shadow. The glacial peaks of Izen were a realm of endless winter ruled by Queen Lyra. Her heart was said to be as cold as the ice she commanded, her magic a force of crystalline precision and unyielding frost. Her people lived in cities carved from glaciers, their lives dictated by the cold. Far below, in the Umbral Depths, lay the Shadow Syndicate, a hidden realm ruled by Kael, the Shadow Lord. His power was in the unseen, the intangible illusions, whispers, and blades that struck from darkness. His people moved through a world of permanent night, their lives shrouded in mystery. For generations, Izen and the Syndicate had been locked in a cold war, their magics anathema to each other, their people viewing the other side as monstrous. But a new threat ignored their borders. A discordant song, a vibration of corrupted magic, echoed through both realms. In Izen, glaciers began to crack and weep shadow. In the depths, shadows solidified into razor-sharp ice. Both kingdoms were unraveling. Ancient prophecies in both realms spoke of this time, the Sundering Song, which could only be silenced by the union of ice and shadow, guided by the true harmony. A reluctant summit was called in the treacherous border. Queen Lyra arrived encased in glittering ice armor, her presence radiating a chilling authority. Kael materialized from the deepest shadows, silent and imposing, his eyes like chips of obsidian. The animosity between them was colder than any glacier. This corruption stems from your shadow taint, Lord Kael. Your darkness bleeds into my realm. End it. Your brittle ice shatters under its own pressure, Queen Lyra. Your realm's rigidity invited this dissonance. The fault is yours. But as they argued, the Sundering Song intensified. The ground cracked, spewing shards of dark ice and tendrils of freezing shadow. Their guards were thrown back. Only Lyra and Kael, channeling their respective powers, could shield themselves. They saw the raw, destructive force born from the clash of their corrupted magics. The prophecy was clear. They had to journey together to find the source of the discordant song and restore the true harmony. It was a quest neither wanted, bound to an enemy they despised. Their journey was a study in contrasts. Lyra navigated by the crystalline structure of the land, her ice magic creating bridges and shelters. Kael moved through hidden pathways, his shadow magic scouting dangers and cloaking their movements. He needed her tangible power to overcome physical obstacles. She needed his elusive senses to navigate the corrupted magical landscape. They barely spoke, their interactions clipped and hostile. Yet, their forced proximity revealed unexpected He saw the immense control required for her seemingly rigid magic. The subtle ways she used frost to preserve delicate, dying plants corrupted by shadow. She witnessed the protective nature hidden beneath his ruthlessness, how his shadows would silently sweep ahead, neutralizing magical traps before she even sensed them. One night, sheltering in an ice cave Lyra had formed, they were attacked by creatures born of the Sundering Song, beasts of shrieking shadow and jagged ice. Lyra fought with precise blasts of frost, Kael with silent, lethal shadow blade. But the creatures reformed, instantly fueled by the dissonant energy. Our magic only feeds them. They are born from the discord. Kael watched as a shot of corrupted ice grazed Lyra's arm, leaving a bleeding, shadowy wound that frost could not heal. Without thinking, he pressed his hand to the wound. His shadow magic flowed, not to attack, but to absorb the dark corruption. It was agonizing, like swallowing razors, but it drew the shadow out. Lyra gasped, expecting his touch to bring only pain. Instead, she felt relief. As he pulled the shadow away, she instinctively channeled her ice magic, not as a weapon, but as a soothing cold, calming the chaotic energy his absorption had stirred. The cave fell silent. The creatures dissolved, unable to sustain themselves without active discord. They looked at each other, breathing heavily. He had absorbed her, she had soothed his resulting pain. Their magics for one crucial moment had worked in perfect, unwilling harmony. The cold wall between them had cracked. He began to hear faint echoes of the true harmony beneath the Sundering Song, a melody his shadow-attuned senses could just perceive. She began to see the underlying structure within the chaotic shadows, patterns her ice-focused mind could decide. A pattern beneath the noise. A pure note, and the shadows. They aren't random. They follow the lines of the corruption leading to its source. Guided by their combined senses, they journeyed deeper into the corrupted lands. They learned to weave their powers, her ice forming conduits for his shadows creating voids that amplified her frost. The animosity didn't vanish, but it was overshadowed by a grudging respect, a dawning understanding. They found the source in a hidden nexus where the borders of ice, shadow, and the lost in-between converged. It was not a creature or an artifact, but a being of pure sound. The original harmony, now driven, mad, trapped, and amplified by ancient wards that had decayed unevenly, creating the Sundering Song. It lashed out with waves of pure sonic force, threatening to shatter both their minds and bodies. Their individual powers were useless against the corrupted sound. Ice shattered, shadows dispersed. We have to sing back, find the true harmony. I can add it, but I cannot shape it. I can shape the magic, but I cannot hear the true song clearly. They looked at each other. Trust was their only path. Lyra closed her eyes, reaching out not with magic, but with her mind, opening herself to Kael's senses. Kael focused, pushing past the dissonance, channeling the pure, faint notes of the true harmony he perceived directly into her consciousness. She gasped as the clear melody filled her mind. He grunted as her structured ice magic flowed into him, giving his perception a tangible form. She raised her hands, weaving shimmering ice into resonant patterns. He guided her, feeding her the notes, his shadows flowing around her ice, dampening the discord, creating a space for the true harmony to emerge. Together, they didn't just replicate the song, they became it. A wave of pure harmonious sound pulsed outwards, weaving ice and shadow into a perfect, balanced melody. The Sundering Song faltered, overwhelmed, the mad harmony stilled, soothed, and finally retreated, leaving behind only peace. As the silence settled, the corruption receded from the lands. Glaciers stabilized, glowing faintly with absorbed shadow. The Umbral Depths brightened, touched by a soft, reflected icy light. Balance was restored. Lyra and Kael stood in the nexus, the echo of their shared song still resonating between them. The wariness was gone, replaced by a profound connection forged in shared power and vulnerability. They returned to their kingdoms, not as enemies, but as the architects of a new peace. The union required by the prophecy was not just political, but magical and personal. I always thought shadows were emptiness, but yours hold the only true quiet ivy of air known. And I believed ice was rigid, lifeless, but yours holds the structure of the universe. It holds light. He reached out, his shadowy fingers gently tracing the patterns left by her ice magic on his gauntlet. She did not pull away. The Song of Ice and Shadow had found its harmony, not just for their world, but within their hearts. And in the heart of the archive, their legend was inscribed. A melody of how two opposing forces found perfect resonance in the twilight between their souls. Thank you for joining us once more in the Embers Archive. If you were moved by the tale of Lyra and Kael, please like this video and subscribe for more stories from the endless shelves of the archive. We look forward to seeing you again.